Are we live? Ooh, I never know when we're live exactly. I tell you, I never know when exactly we're live, but I'm going to trust you on this one that we're live. Hey, everybody, welcome to Vic Lombardi Sports on YouTube. Special thanks to Sports Guru. You're going to be hearing a lot more about these guys soon. We might partner up on a couple things. Special thanks to Troy Hansford, our sponsor for this episode. It's our Monday, the day after Valentine's episode. I'm not sure what you guys got for your Valentine yesterday. Adalia, what'd you get for your wife yesterday? Adalia is my brother who runs the board here.
A Christmas card.
You got her a Christmas card. So she said she wanted a card and you got her a Christmas card. Honestly?
I had one laying around. She said she wanted a card. She didn't specify what
What did you write in the card?
I just told her that she's a great wife and I love her and I hope she enjoys the card.
Okay. Well, I went a step further. I was in Canada over the weekend, as you all know, for the NBA All-Star Game. And on my way out, I got my wife a duty-free jar of Toronto's Best maple syrup, $14.99. Best maple syrup you can get duty-free. And with the Canadian dollar versus the American dollar, I think the total price came out to be $12. Damn good deal. So that's what we do on Valentine's Day, and it's pretty effective since my wife's not here now and his wife's not here as well, and they're probably not watching. Thank God. Eventful week. We're going to get into the Broncos and what I believe they're going to do with Brock Osweiler. I just participated in Jake Plummer's podcast. You got to listen to it, Snakes Takes. It's going to be released tomorrow. We're going to give you just a quick preview of what we talked about on my show. So apologies to Jake. We're going to leave the bulk of it, obviously, for your show. But I joined him earlier today. His show is going to be released tomorrow. We're just going to give you a little snippet of what we discussed later on here. But before we get into the Broncos, because I know that's the big topic here for free agency, it never ends. You know what cracks me up about the Broncos? Here's what cracks me up. I'm driving in after I arrived at the airport yesterday, and I'm listening to Sports Talk Radio. And listen, I live in that world. We all do Sports Talk Radio. I get it. But it's funny how people still complain about the offense, certain players on the team. They're complaining about the lack of production. I feel like reaching through the radio and saying, you know they just won the Super Bowl, right? You know that the game's over and they're world champions. In my opinion, when a team wins the world championship, all complaining has to cease for at least 2-3 months. Everything. All critical analysis, everything has to stop. You're not allowed to talk critically about a team if they won the Super Bowl. That's just my opinion. It's the way I roll. This is pretty cool. My Notre Dame glass is invisible because it's green here on the green screen. All you see is the ND. That is really cool, to be honest with you. How does that work, Daniel? Because it's green? So anything I wear that's green is...
That would be it.
That's it? Cool. So what I want this to turn into is I can take this video here, and through the help of technology, I can make a video show up on our screen, which you're going to see here momentarily. This is produced by, I want to give proper credit to Oak Creek TV. It's on YouTube, and it's a compilation of Broncos fans celebrating the Super Bowl win. And so now I'm controlling the mouse here. That's what's cool. I'm controlling all this, and I can show you this stuff live on the show. And we can refer to anything we want, really. So these are Bronco fans who attended the Super Bowl, maybe some Bronco fans who are watching at home, Bronco fans in jets, as you can see from above. That was so cool when the flyby came through. And they compiled this huge list of fans shooting the game and how they celebrated the game. And this is my favorite stuff, because this is what being a fan is all about, right? Going through the entire emotions of a football game. Guys at home celebrating. Yeah, everybody does these tapes. Jordan Norwood returning that kick, celebrating that play. This looks like it's right off the television. Bronco fans sitting in random bars. Our very own Brandon Perma watched the show from, he watched the entire Super Bowl from Bennigan's across the street from the stadium. Hilarious. So, I love this stuff. I don't know about you. We're going to get into the Broncos and what they did last week and how we participated in the parade and all that business. But if you want to watch this in its entirety, go to YouTube. Oak Creek TV put this together, and I think it's tremendous. Again, this is the kind of video that you have to find. It takes a lot of time and diligence to go through YouTube to find this stuff, but once you see it in a compilation video, I think it's the coolest thing going. All right, let's get out. Oh, I got to get out of this. I'm the one running this. Hold on a second. Let me get out of this thing. I'm going to pause it right now. All right, back to full screen. Dale, can we go back to full screen? Thank you very much. Oh, okay, cool. We're full screen. Chat. Let's see what we got here. Let's see if we have some questions before we go on. Quick, Vic, go put on a green shirt. I don't want to do that because I don't want to be invisible. Why don't you have Periscope going while you're running the YouTube Live? Hey, that's a good idea, dude. Let me do that right now. I'm going to put Periscope on. You know why? Because Periscope will show what the studio really looks like because it's not going to go through virtual reality thing.
Not only that, they're not going to get all of the feeds, all the stuff we got going.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So we're trying to figure out a way to feed the Periscope with the final edit of what we got going on here.
I have no idea what you just said, but we'll go with it.
Well, we're trying to figure that out.
All right, so we're not going to do Periscope. Let's recap what just happened in Toronto over the weekend. By the way, it was minus, I'm not joking, minus 24 degrees. It was so cold. I got out of a cab after we went to the Rising Stars Challenge on Friday night. I got out of a cab, and from my cab walk to the hotel, my hair gel froze. And if my hair gel freezes, that's a point of no return. That's beyond cold. I don't understand how people live in that environment. I don't know what you do with yourself at minus 24. How you can even see the outside of the world. Why you would even want to see the outside of the world. So we got the hell out of there. But during my stay in Toronto, I got a chance to watch what is, no question, the greatest slam dunk contest since Dominique Jordan. I mean, we've seen some great dunks over the years. I still think Vince Carter's dunk took it to another level. But the competition hasn't been that fun. You know? I mean, they did that thing where they went team versus team. Then that thing where they put time on the clock and you got as many dunks as you want. All boring, all worthless. What we saw on Saturday night was the best thing I've seen in years. Will Barton did his part, representing the Nuggets. And Will the Thrill came in with that cool intro going to a Thriller, Michael Jackson. But let's be honest, the show was between Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon, who took the dunk contest to another athletic level. Personally, I thought Aaron Gordon was the better dunker of the night, more creative. And when he did that dunk where he had his feet above the rim, end of story. I thought that was the best dunk of the night. Until Sunday, when I saw this kid by the name of Jordan Kilgannon, 23-year-old, 6'1", Toronto native. He's from Ontario, Canada. And he put on a dunk during the All-Star game, during a timeout, that had everybody up off their seats. Adalia, can we roll this dunk? I just want you to witness this, okay? First of all, this is a day after the dunk contest. Are you kidding? Did that just happen? Look at this again. He's wearing skinny jeans. He dunked behind his back without looking at the rim. Again, he's wearing skinny jeans. 6'1". He's not a big man. He's not 6'8". And this guy's legendary. He's put on his own dunk tapes. I did a little research on Jordan Kilgannon. He's been dunking for most of his life. He's made an art of the dunk. He does this workout with his legs just so he can get more air. Flipping the ball behind his back and throwing it down. Watch again. That, in my opinion, is the greatest dunk in the history of dunkage. All right? He should be in the dunk contest. If they really want to do a dunk contest that serves as the greatest dunker on the planet, put this kid in it. I'm serious. Let's open it up to everybody. Everybody and anybody. Somebody on the chat room. All right, enough of this kid. It's just phenomenal. I've never seen anything like it. 6-foot white guy from Toronto who's throwing it down like that. Never seen anything like it. So when I was in Toronto, I ran into Ryan Clady and Orlando Franklin. They were at the game. And I asked Ryan, I said, hey, where does it stand? You want to be a Bronco? He definitely wants to be a Bronco. And Ryan gets it. He's going to have to restructure his contract, most likely, to remain a Bronco because he's got a lot of money coming to him. For a guy who didn't play this season, has been injury prone, he wants to remain a Denver Bronco. It's probably going to get done. The offensive line is going to get better no matter what. I mean, you got Sambrailo coming back, who barely played, and Ryan Clady, if they can restructure. So the offensive line is going to be better. Some of the questions online, and we're going to get to this interview I did with Jake Plummer shortly because I think it's going to explain a little bit of what's going on with the Broncos, and I don't want to double up on that stuff, so we'll let the interview take care of it. Some of the questions coming in about, Clady restructuring. What is the legitimacy to the stories about the Broncos and all these Peyton Manning things? We'll talk about that with Jake here momentarily. I don't want to double up on that. In fact, all the questions are coming down about the Broncos. Adalia, why don't we just roll that right now? We'll get back into live episode here. This is earlier today, my podcast with Jake Plummer, his podcast, which rolls out tomorrow. So I don't want to steal too much of this. I just want to highlight some of the conversation we had regarding the Broncos. You're going to hear this in its entirety tomorrow, 35 minutes with Jake Plummer. I just wanted to steal some of the stuff that we referred to on the subject of the Denver Broncos. It started with the topic of Cam Newton and his performance in the Super Bowl and how our mentality changes maybe towards Cam Newton. Go ahead and roll it, Adalia.
Starting to mature and let people know who he is and what he is, and I think it's kind of a big can of BS. What's your take on his? I know what your take is on his media walkout in the Super Bowl. Probably you don't really care, but how about the fumble, man? I didn't like to see when he didn't go for that fumble. That really bothered me.
I knew the game was over then, Jake. That's when I said, well, at the time we all knew the game was over anyway, but that's when the game was capped. You're right. Here's a guy who is not afraid to celebrate when he jumps in the end zone. He's never afraid to show the other team up by celebrating, and that's fine. We all celebrate differently. Different athletes do different things, and I've never gotten on him for that. But your teammates are expecting you to keep you in the game. And if you're Luke Kuechly or you're somebody else on that team, you're Josh Norman, and you're in that same situation, do you go after that fumble or do you start running away? Every single guy on that team, I guarantee, thought about that and said, wow, this dude just gave up on us. This dude just walked away from that loose ball. And if you look at the replays, he had every chance to go after it. He wanted no part of DeMarcus Ware, who's coming his way. The tape doesn't lie, man.
He almost tried to kick the ball. It looked
yeah.
Like, I don't know if you noticed that, but I did. Like he tried to move his foot to it, and that's why he was so close. And then he saw DeMarcus Ware. I thought it was a cop-out. Like you said, he didn't do for his teammates what his teammates have done for him all year, and I hope he can recover from that because he's a phenomenal player. But Cam's another subject. Let's talk about another QB here locally. Peyton Manning, when's he going to just say, hey, I'm done, thank you, I'm the greatest ever in my mind, and when's he just going to go away?
Dude, you and I have talked about this ad nauseum for a couple of years now. We all respect Peyton Manning. His legacy is you can't put holes in his legacy now. He's got 2 Super Bowl rings. He's been to 4 Super Bowls with 4 different coaches, mind you, which is pretty damn impressive. We know where he's going to stand in the history of the NFL. We get it, and I give him all due respect for that. But what the hell is taking so long? What more does he want? We know that he's not capable health-wise of holding up an entire season again. It's unfair to the Broncos right now to sort of sit back and take your time, even though Elway's doing the right thing and saying, we're going to wait on Manning, we're going to wait. It's unfair, I think, to the Broncos. It's unfair to a lot of people because I think we all know what the Broncos want. The Broncos want to move on. The Broncos have pretty much told us they want to move on. Hell, I think they wanted to move on last year. And they proved that they can win a Super Bowl without an elite quarterback. When I say elite now, he's going to be elite in his career, but he did not play at an elite level this year. He did not play. He made great throws when they counted, but he was not an elite quarterback per se, and they still won a Super Bowl. So if you're the Denver Broncos, you're saying to yourself, come on, man, we got to get going with Brock here. All right, Brock is the future. We saw him play in meaningful football games. He delivered in meaningful football games. It was tough to watch Brock afterwards. I saw him on the field, and I said, dude, what's going through your brain, your heart right now? Because this has got to be tough. You're happy for your team, but I know you're seeing yourself in there in that situation. And Brock handled it perfectly, Jake. He said all the right things. He understands that this was a unique situation. It wasn't some journeyman quarterback taking his job. It was Peyton freaking Manning. But now it's his time. And the sooner Peyton makes his decision, the sooner they can start negotiating with Brock and getting that contract done.
Yeah, it's tough. I think that there was little talk of Brock and what he accomplished this year leading up to the Super Bowl. I mean, I did a lot of interviews, and no one was saying anything about Brock, and they're not there without him and what he did.
Oh,
and
hell
I
no.
think the value of him will be shown soon when he's re-signed to a very nice contract. I think he is the future of this organization. And like you said, the defense, the way it's loaded right now, you don't need an elite quarterback. You need someone that can push the field and do the things with those athletes around him, and I think they got their guy in Osweiler. So you think he's going to be re-signed?
I do. I can tell you this. Here's what I've gleaned. They have not really negotiated with Brock yet, which is a surprise. They've not exchanged numbers. And I think what they're trying to do is they want to see what the market sets him at. They want to see if he hits free agency, what does the market say Brock Osweiler is worth? Because if they throw a number at him now and the market says, well, he's worth less than that, this is risky on their part. Because what if a team like Cleveland, who's always looking for a quarterback, says, well, we think Brock's worth $15 million a year, and the Broncos were only planning on giving him 10 to 12. Well, now they're going to have to overpay. I think either way, Jake, the Broncos are going to re-sign Brock Osweiler, but they're going to wait to see what his market is worth before they do so.
I think they're going to make a mistake doing that because he's valuable, as there are probably 15 teams that would sign him to a starting quarterback salary right now with what he did and the turds that are floating around and quarterbacks out there that can't get it done. So maybe they should think about pushing Peyton Manning a little bit to retire, but I don't think that's going to happen. Hopefully Peyton will, and he'll ride off into the sunset. Now, what about like Vaughn and Malik? I mean, those guys have got to be number one and number two on getting re-signed on that defense.
Yeah, I mean, Vaughn's going to get franchised if he doesn't get re-signed long-term, if they can't figure out a long-term deal. But imagine if you're Von Miller right now and what the franchise tag has done to the NFL. Just imagine if the franchise tag did not exist, Jake, and that Von Miller was an unrestricted free agent, free to sign with any team. Can you imagine how much money he would get? Just imagine that for a second. All right, so that's Jake Plummer. Earlier
yeah, he's going to rake
podcast.
it in
So
regardless.
we exchanged some ideas about what they have in mind for Brock and why it's taken so long. Can you get rid of that, Adalia? Thank you very much. We talked about Vaughn, and I started the conversation. If the franchise tag didn't exist, could you imagine how much Von Miller would be worth on the open market? He's going to blow Justin Houston's contract out of the water. Justin Houston got 51 guaranteed. Von's going to get more than that. But just imagine if the franchise did not exist. Again, my theory as to Brock Osweiler, I think the Broncos, they're going to sign Brock Osweiler. I think they want to sign Brock Osweiler. In fact, I know they do. But right now, their plans are to let him test the market only because they want to see what the market says. Maybe they don't want to overpay. Maybe they feel that the market will allow them to gain some leverage. I don't know. I don't know why it's taking so long. I mean, if you're the Broncos, clearly I don't think you want to spend another season with this whole Peyton thing looming. I understand that, Peyton still wants to play, maybe, but they can't fall prey to that. They don't have time. They got to go on. They got to move on. And they're certainly not going to pay him $19 million. So I really believe that the Broncos are going to re-sign Brock Osweiler at some point and make it happen. But I wouldn't be one bit surprised if Brock gets tested first on the open market. They weigh how much he's worth, and then the Broncos come in with a contract offer after that. And maybe that's the best way to go about it. Maybe that allows them to sign Malik Jackson. I don't know. I still think Malik Jackson signing is almost... Sorry, I've got my attention on this YouTube video. It's almost a stretch, but if they can, that'd be a major coup. All right, a couple quick questions I'll answer before we... you're getting a phone call from Mom and Dad today. Should we just ignore it? Wait, let me just answer it real quick because she's gonna want us to go eat real quick. Hello, Ma. This is Vic.
Huh?
This is Vic.
Makatich.
I said this is Vic, and you're on Vic Lombardi Sports Channel right now on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Matuvimo.
Yeah, we'll be there. We're gonna eat here in a second, but we're sort of talking some Broncos and Nuggets right now. We'll be there. I know we're not eating right now. We're just talking on the YouTube. We're gonna come there and eat real quick. Ando via. Okay. She doesn't want to disclose that information. All right, bye. Mom said that we have to go eat. And she doesn't want to disclose. There's some information in there that she don't want to tell us, even in Italian.
Do you know how to get the chat room back up, or is that?
I have no idea. Here, I'll give this to you. You throw it back to me. We'll get that chat room back up because somebody had a viable question that I wanted to get into. And Mom ruined it with a phone call about coming to eat, as she is known to do several times a day. Give it to me. Thank you. All right. So back to the chat room here. Live chat. Bring it up.
You can't see that on your computer too, but
If Brock leaves, who's next? Good question. Good question. I don't think they have many options there. You know what? One thing the Broncos are going to use when they're negotiating with Brock Osweiler is this. We just won a Super Bowl with the defense. We can put Adalio Lombardi at quarterback, and we have a chance to win the Super Bowl with this defense. Leverage tactic. They don't want to pay their quarterback $12 million plus. They don't want to. And they don't think they have to. Now you're going to call from Tyler. I'm just going to reject that one.
Yeah, just reject it.
Hey, guys, do me a favor. When we're doing the YouTube channel thing, don't call Adalio's phone because I'm trying to read the chats. Do you think we'll re-sign Danny Trevathan? Again, all based on what they do with Malik. If they re-sign Malik, I think all other bets are off the table. I don't think they run out of money at some point. The salary cap's supposed to go up a little bit this year, though. It's going up like 15 mil, so they have some extra money to work with. All right, listen, I've been going on and on here. We can have fun with this on another day. And if you want to follow me on Twitter at Vic Lombardi, anytime something happens free agency wise, we'll get you the latest updates there. This is designed more for Q&A, our little channel here. I'm going to leave you with this video from Oak Creek TV. Again, thank you to Oak Creek TV. I'm not stealing your stuff if I'm giving you credit. So if I gave you credit, it's not thievery. I want to end this show by rolling out the rest of this video that they put together. And by the way, you stole your stuff from other people anyway, so it's really not thievery. These are all Bronco fans watching, participating, having fun during the Broncos' victory, and they compiled it into a great YouTube video. We'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to subscribe. The more subscribers we get, the better. Special thanks to Troy Hansford. New sponsors hopefully come on board, and we can make this a thing. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll say goodbye with this. Take it full, guys. Take it full.